Many superstars and fans have benefited from Triple H taking over the head of WWE Creative, but there are some superstars who've been lost in the shuffle and have become an afterthought, either here or there, depending on who you talk to, and we can understand that some of you may disagree with this. Let us know how you feel in the comments below. I'm Kevin Kellum, and here are 10 WWE superstars that maybe Triple H isn't really giving the push to. Number 10, Drew McIntyre. Yes, in the last few years, Drew McIntyre's booking has been inconsistent in comparison to his time during the pandemic era when he was a two-time WWE champion. Back then, the Scottish Warrior helped carry the company through a very tough, turbulent time with no fans there, when top stars like Roman Reigns and John Cena were out of the equation or not fully committed. Although he did win the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania 40 under the current leadership, his title reign only lasted a few minutes and more just an elaborate angle for Damian Priest to cash in and for him to continue his storyline with CM Punk, which, by the way, was one of the best of the year, but it wasn't the top angle. Number 9, Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee's arrival in WWE was treated like a big deal, one of the biggest masked luchadors to join the company in some years. His start in NXT was quite positive, however, since joining the main roster, things have slowed down. Being put under the tutelage of Rey Mysterio must have meant something, but it hasn't meant that much, even including him joining the LWO, especially around WrestleMania with Andrade taking the spot that likely should have gone to him in a big tag team match. Since then, it feels like he's been fodder for the undercard of Raw and on Main Event. Other than that, he has held the Speed Championship on the internet, a title that, frankly speaking, doesn't really have much weight to it. It's a shame because he could have been the next big mass superstar of WWE right behind Rey Mysterio, but that spot seems to have been reserved for Penta or Rey Fenix, although they're not doing a whole lot at the moment right now. Number 8, Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura hasn't appeared on WWE programming for months. Although he has never been positioned as a potential world champion, even during the McMahon regime under Vince McMahon, he still played an important role on the roster. Under Triple H's control recently, Nakamura has returned to the new wayward samurai gimmick, darker, more sinister approach. He had a short reign with the US Championship, during which he feuded with LA Knight, but it's mostly been forgot about now because it was so brief. And that's unfortunate because fans really supported him with his newer, more darker toned character. Lately, Nakamura has been working overseas, mostly in Japan sporadically, and has been used at live events but not on TV. However, he's rarely seen on SmackDown. It's still quite puzzling because Shinsuke used to be one of the top dogs in WWE NXT, one of the biggest names that WWE ever brought over from New Japan. And now, where is he? Yeah, seems odd to not utilize a former two-time NXT champion. Number 7, Austin Theory. When AEW signed independent wrestling superstar Austin Theory, there was a lot of hope surrounding this young, rising superstar. He had an entertaining run as Vince McMahon's chosen protege, culminating in him becoming Mr. Money in the Bank, even though it ended in a failed cash-in. That too, on the United States title. Austin also held the US Championship twice during this period. In 2023, Theory teamed up with Grayson Waller, and they called themselves A-Town Under. The duo has become WWE Tag Team Champions, but after losing the title, they faded into the background. The creative team teased a face turn into a good guy for Theory numerous times during this partnership with Waller, but nothing has really come of it. The team disbanded after Theory was legitimately injured. In August of 2025, it was reported that Theory had been removed from WWE's internal active roster, leaving his status with the company uncertain. Number 6, Omos. Even though WWE signed Omos to a multi-year contract extension recently, the gigantic superstar has rarely been used recently on company programming. His last appearance for WWE TV was in April of 2024, and he went to Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan and won the GHC Tag Team Championships in early 2025, generating some significant buzz before returning to WWE in January of 2025. That was his last appearance for the former World Tag Team Champion of WWE. After that, the company sent him to Mexico to work with the promotion's new partnership in Triple A. Number 5, the Street Profits. Yes, they have faced inconsistent up and down presentations since 2025. Triple H and his creative team tried to turn Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins along with B-Fab into heels with a more serious presentation, but that backfired as fans refused to boo them. So since then, they reverted to their original party-driven personas. It was also confusing to see them left off WrestleMania 41, especially since they were the reigning WWE Tag Team Champions who had had some big matches on TV around that time. After losing their titles to the Wyatt Six, they had several chances to win them back, but came up short each time in strong matches. Recently, they got another shot at the titles when they faced the Wyatt Six at Clash in Paris, but they fell short again. However, tensions between Dawkins and Ford after the match certainly rose, which could suggest that the company might be teasing a breakup for the team. Number 4, Michin Mia Yim. Yes, really, she does does have everything it takes to be a top star in WWE. She has a tremendous wrestling athleticism, a proper platform to build on a character, and she truly shines. However, her recent string of luck in WWE hasn't been the best. She has often been on the losing end of big matches against superstars like Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton. An alliance with AJ Styles in the OC didn't do much for her either, as the Good Brothers were removed from their contract and Styles and Michin went their separate ways. However, there is still time for Michin's WWE career to recover and see her do more on the main roster to really excel. Currently, it looks like WWE is involving her in a feud for the Women's United States Championship against Julia. We have hope that something comes out of this because she truly deserves to be something bigger than just someone who gets in there and is serious when Chelsea Green is funny. Number 3, Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews was drafted back to Monday Night Raw in 2023 after a stint back down in NXT. He was hoping for a career resurgence. Instead, he was randomly paired with Baron Corbin, which didn't do much for him, and soon after, Corbin was released from his contract. This is especially unfortunate since Crews is a former US and Intercontinental Champion. He has managed to make it onto the show at a big level a few times, losing mostly big matches, but still being there as a player. He has been relegated to more competing on the main event tier of WWE, which is strong. Right now, Apollo is out with a pectoral muscle injury and has undergone surgery. There's no tentative date for when he may return, but it could happen soon, and he's been on the bench since February of 2025. Injuries don't help either. Number 2, Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross has been a huge fan favorite throughout her WWE career and really eats up the screen every time she's on it. She's also been an impressive resume in terms of what she's proved she can do in terms of hardware. 3-time women's tag team champion, a women's Money in the Bank ladder match winner, a former women's champion. But despite all that, these accomplishments on the main roster have seen her become much more of an afterthought, if at most a supporting player. An active in-ring competitor has been relegated to being more of a valet and manager who just helps out the Wyatt Six with big spots during the matches. Although she does interfere in her teammates' matches and helps them win, she has not been featured as an in-ring solo player since she joined the Wyatts. Number 1, Finn Balor. The one guy in WWE you think would benefit the most from Triple H taking over the head of creative of WWE would be Finn Balor, someone who was a core NXT player for the brand when it broke out under Triple H. Sadly, the opposite has happened. Now, under the McMahon regime of WWE, whatever you want to call it, Balor was the inaugural first ever WWE Universal Champion. However, an injury in that match where he won the title may have been the nail in the coffin of the Prince ever getting the substantial push in WWE. Beyond the mid-level where he's been a United States Champion, an Intercontinental Champion, it says a lot. He's a player who could play at the top level. Back in Triple H's NXT, he was the guy and won the NXT Championship twice. So for Triple H now to treat him like a guy who's there to have great matches but not be the great main eventer just seems odd. Aside from a few wins and some World Tag Team Championship reigns, Balor has lost most of his matches. Perhaps a babyface turn is needed for him to break away from the Judgment Day and regain his solo credibility.